Wow, so Aegon is really spreading his wings this episode. Man, he's really growing some balls. Well, he spread his wings alright.
Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of DN's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for House of the Dragon. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of Season 2. This one's for Episode 4, titled The Red Dragon and the Gold.
Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today, this one's going to be doing another review for today, this one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of House of the Dragon. This one's for Episode 4, titled The Red Dragon and the Gold. So, this is the episode I've been waiting to see, man. I think this is the episode we've all been waiting to see. I've been very excited to see a battle go down this season between, you know, the green and black, and I mean, we got it and then some. This was a really intense, really action-packed episode of House of the Dragon. Wow. So if you haven't seen this episode yet, spoiler warning, we're going to delve into it real quick. So, you know, make sure to leave if you haven't seen this episode yet. Now, we're going to talk about the Daemon plot first, and then we'll go into the battle and everything that went down with, you know, just the main stuff, really. So, with Rhaenys and all that. So, let's go into it. Now, first off, we have Daemon. Now, Daemon last episode and this episode has kind of been at this, you know, location. I forget the name of it. You'll have to apologize. I'll apologize to y'all, but you'll have to forgive me. I'm still learning some of this stuff. Meanwhile, let me also remind you, I've never read the books before. So I got a lot of people saying like, oh, Dan, like this happens in the books, this happens in the books. I haven't read the books, so, you know, at least not this one. So I don't know any details about it. I am a, you know, very just surprised viewer, like don't want to know anything about the books type of viewer for this show. So, anyway, you've got Daemon in this one, the continued hallucinations that he gets, and it was a pretty intense one at the beginning there, where he goes to, like, the Iron Throne, he sees the younger Rhaenyra, and he actually chops her head off, and I thought that was pretty brutal. She's still, like, kind of taunting him and kind of haunting him, you know? And there's a few hallucinations that he has in this one. Now, we meet a character named Alice, who is kind of there briefly. She's a little creepy to me. Like, I kind of wasn't sure what to think about her at first. But she's, you know, she seems like she's alright. She's a little bit on the creepy side. But she kind of introduces him. And he's trying to basically assemble an army to, you know, bring back to Rhaenyra. But it's, you know, it's a little bit more difficult than, you know, he probably thought it would be. But he does get a meeting in this one. We get a few cool dialogue scenes that I thought were good. Overall, Daemon's plot I thought was better this week than it was last week. I actually quite enjoyed it this episode. I found it rather haunting, a lot of it, so it was really good. Now let's get to the main plot. Now we have everything going on in King's Landing. We've got, you know, Alicent now that knows the whole truth that, you know, of course, Rhaenyra told her last episode about the true heir to the Iron Throne and stuff. And we get a good few dialogue scenes in this one. You know, we get preparation for war kind of on both sides. Rhaenyra's group is kind of wondering, like, where the hell she is, you know what I'm saying? And she does get questioned about it when she kind of comes back, you know? It's like, where the hell were you and stuff? And she's like, I had to make sure that, you know, I could settle this war. Now I know that I can't. Now that I know that it's, you know, it's too late, you know, we kind of have no choice. And basically we get, you know, the stuff at King's Landing as well, where Alicent kind of talks to her son, kind of about, you know, the way he acts and the kind of type of, you know, king he is. And she kind of throws it in his face, like, you know, it's like, yeah, well, you're not strong, and you're not this, and, you know, you're not really the true heir to the Iron Throne, you know what I'm saying? She kind of throws some shade towards him, which, you know, I'll say this. Honestly, Alicent is completely right about, you know, Aegon. She's completely right about him. Not to mention, I don't think, you know, in general, he's been a great king. He's kind of a wuss in his own way. But I will say, despite what Alicent may have said about him, I was actually pretty surprised this episode that he suited up, he went in armor, and he actually went out there and fought in the battle. I was pretty surprised about that. Honestly, I'll give him this. He's more of a king than Joffrey from Game of Thrones ever thought or ever wished he could have been. He is at least willing to go out there in a battle and actually fight. So I will give him that one. And, well, let's talk about it. We get blood, oh my dear God, and we get a battle. And honestly, I gotta admit, Cole really did his job this episode because he put everybody exactly where he wanted them to be. I'm not gonna lie, he did his job this episode. I may not like him too much, but he did his job this episode, and I thought it was well handled by him. Again, props, credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we get the battle that goes down. We got Rhaenys that goes in with the dragon, of course, and they just send her in. Now, I was kind of already on edge when they were going to do that, you know, but they decided to just send her in, nobody else, and, you know, because, you know, she's the best one with the best amount of experience, I guess, the way that Rhaenyra puts it, and you get a really cool battle. Now, the battle was well shot. I have to take a second to quickly just kind of mention how amazingly shot this battle was, because, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, but I'm pretty sure that we haven't seen a battle to this degree in Game of Thrones House of the Dragon yet. I'm pretty sure. It's been a long time since I've seen a battle shot like this. And it was really intense. You've got, you know, Aemon, he's kind of like on his dragon. He's like, nope, not yet. You know, he sees Rhaenys. He's kind of waiting to do it, you know. And you get, you know, the battle that kind of goes down. Now, a few things. The way that the dragons ripped each other apart and the way that they fought each other, dragon versus dragon, I thought was insane. Because usually it's just like fighting fire with fire. No, the dragons were legit trying to fucking kill each other in this episode. And it was really intense. And the way it was shot and the cinematography, I always like to point it out because obviously they're not real dragons. So I like to point out the fact that the people behind the scenes did a great job. It looked real, it looked very authentic, and they did a great job. Now, here's the thing, right? Not only do we have Cole, who kind of acts dead in this episode, he kind of pretends to be dead, you know, for a little bit there. But, you know, he survives, right? Same with Aemon, but not before we get a really, really gruesome scene where, oh my god, Rhaenys goes in, you think she's done it, and then the dragon gets the head, like, almost removed, and the head looks back at Rhaenys, and it's a really emotional scene, and I gotta give it to them, they did a great job. And basically Rhaenys knows, like, I'm done, you know what I'm saying, I'm done. And she goes down. Rhaenys is dead this episode. That's one of our biggest deaths of the entire series. That was a huge moment, and honestly, the way it was shot, it's one of my favorite scenes of the entire show, where she just kind of like, it's like she knows the dragon's going down, but then she just kind of puts her hands out, you know, and she kind of like, oh man, that was good. That was good. She's a gangster for that one. That was a really good move. And it was, insane. She falls to her death. Boom. Explosion. So we lost Rhaenys. Didn't see that coming. I gotta admit, I didn't see that coming this episode. That was a really insane death. Yeah, no, insane. Battle was insane. Death was crazy. And, well, let's talk about the hanger that they leave us off on now. They make it seem like, and again, please, y'all, don't tell me if you've read the books. I don't want to hear it. I want to be surprised. Is Aegon dead? Like I swear to God, because at the end of it, you know, they discover, like, the dragon and stuff, and they make it seem like he's dead. I tell you what, if he's dead, two things. Okay, that little shit died. Loki kind of died, you know, a bit more of a badass than I thought he would have. But now, like, Aemon is probably just going to take over, and I don't know how much better that is, because he's actually smart, you know what I'm saying? So, son of a bitch. I mean, seriously. We needed this episode. This was one of my favorite episodes of the show. This was a really goddamn good episode. So, I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10. I would say this is a masterpiece episode. I really would. This is a fantastic episode. Really good war episode. Really good action. And the Daemon stuff, really haunting. Really good dialogue. Just superb, honestly. They've done a great job with this episode. So, post comments down below if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this. Make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos for House of the Dragon. Be sure, of course, to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys very soon for more videos for House of the Dragon. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.